sense.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like, well, like we talked about, you go hang out with your friends during the time that you have, and then you can take a trip with your partner. Like, it doesn't have to be this crazy wild thing. Like, why are you living like you're single again? If you want to be single, then be single. Like, do what you need to do. But also at the same point, like, if you want to be single and you're married, that's a time to have a talk with your partner and be like, hey, I'm missing something because this is really appealing to me.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying just leave your husband or leave your wife.
But that's a good.
But you need to like sit them down and be like, hey, I've been really drawn to like wanting to go out and do things that I used to do when I was single. And maybe I'm missing something here.
Right.
Like, maybe we need to spend some more time together, or we need to like spice things up, or we need to go on more dates. Like, I'm not saying just drop everything if you're feeling like you want to be single, but you do have to realize that that's not a normal reaction if you're in a relationship that's healthy and where you really are into it.
And you might start to feel that way because you put yourself into the situation, you know, where now, let's say, you know, you're a woman, you're getting attention from, like, you like the feeling of getting this attention. So now you're getting addicted to that feeling, which is not where you should be getting that.
Which guys get that too.
Right. Or same. Yeah. You know, as a guy, like, you're getting addicted to that feeling of, you know, whatever it is. What was I going to say? Oh, this is the part where I have to, you know, tell the guys, right, about you should be setting these standards for the relationship, right? As a man, you should be saying, look, the girls' night out, guys' night out, we don't need to do those type of things, right? Like, so, and explain it to
like this, like we're explaining it.
Because again, like I said, I would say a majority, a lot of times, and guys will get hit with this when they'll try to do these things that are good for the relationship. It's a thing when guys try to protect the relationship. You're being insecure. You're being, you don't trust me. You're being controlling, right? So I just tell you guys, you have to be immune to all of that language. You have to be immune to all that language.
I agree that women will say that.
They'll say that.
But I don't think
you
they'll
can't care
say
about
it
that.
for the right relationship. Because I would have been that woman.
Yeah.
If my like ex-boyfriend before you was like, you can't do this, dude, I'd be like, but also I was doing 50-50. So I'm like, you can't tell me what to do if we're bringing the same thing to the table.
But there's two things, right? One is that if a woman truly values you and thinks that like she should be the one, like we said in the other episode, and I've told a lot of my coaching clients, look, if you tell her like we're going to exchange phones and, you know, have passwords to each other's phones and have our locations on, she should be leaping for joy. If she's not leaping for joy, then she thinks she can do better than you. Like, she's not, you know what I mean? She's not seeing you as high enough as the man, because she should be like, damn, a lot of women want this guy. I got this guy that a lot of women want. I want to keep this guy. Like,
well, I think women should be jumping for joy because a lot of women don't trust men to cheat or whatever. And so
and
that's
being
him being an open book.
So it's a red flag on two sides. One, that she probably doesn't see you as high enough value, and two, that her values aren't in the right place. So that's what I'm saying. Is like, for guys, look, if you get hit with the controlling, insecure, any of that stuff, look, it's healthy to have boundaries, right? And it's healthy to set the boundaries for the relationship. And you got to be immune to all that shit. As a man, you have to be like, I don't like. Look, you can't be fazed by being told that you're controlling or
a man.
Yeah, because you got to be the man.
A woman respects.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, if a woman is going to say to a guy, hey, that's controlling, or that's whatever, or you're insecure, he's got to be able to look her right in the eyes and say, I don't care. This is important to me. That's it. I'm the man. Right? If you're not that guy.
Yeah, but he has to be the man.
Well, he has to be the man.
How many men are the man?
Right. But that, look, a woman is going to make a choice in that moment. You know, you stare in the eyes, you say, I'm the man. She's either going to leave, be like, fuck you, you're not the man. Or she's going to be like, all right, I got, like, you finally get, like, I finally got a guy that gets it and sees what I want that I'm not going to tell any guy. Right? Like, I can be vulnerable and submissive to this guy because he's strong enough to actually put it out there, you know, not asking permission. He's like, no, this is how it is.
Yeah. But he has to be the man. That's the only thing.
But he's got to be. He's got to be.
I feel like a lot of men who aren't the man are going to just hear this and be like, this is what you need to do. And they don't take any accountability for themselves.
No, you got to be holding up your side of it too, right? Like I said, it's not, there's no girls night out. It's no guys night out either.
You're not fulfilling her in all the ways that she needs. That's why these behaviors even pop up anyway.
Right.
But another thing that I think that is very popular is that people just get together to live separate lives still. Right. And so I think that's also why they think going out is fine and like doing that kind of stuff, because they're just like, they didn't become one. Right. They're just still two separate people living under one house and like roommates basically, or like friends. Like some couples are more friendly than even romantic, and they've just, you know, kind of just existed with each other. And so they go about living their own separate lives. And that's where a lot of this comes into too.
And some people, you know, and they've rightly said, because there are books on the subject, you know, I've read the books on the subject, obviously, but they talk about this idea of, you know, specifically even like books like Mating in Captivity, right? So the idea behind it is that if you have intimacy, then you have a loss of sexual attraction, right? And so like it's the actual separation that creates sexual attraction, but the intimacy that creates love. And so you like you're in this balance between the two. But I believe that you're playing at a lesser level, like not the depth that you can, right? So at a surface level, yes, that's true, right? Like in just but if you go deeper than that, then you can get beyond that, where it actually starts to become not true, where the deeper the intimacy increases the attraction.
But I feel like there's also some couples that don't have the intimacy and also don't have the desire or the attraction. Like, you know, they're so far apart now that's why they go to Magic Mike shows and guys' night out, you know, because they're like even further away.
Well, it's the familiarity is what the argument is, right? And I disagree with it. Like I said, on a surface level, I think you can have a relationship that is at that level where too much familiarity equals less attraction, right? But I think there's a deeper level of relationship that is beyond that. Because a lot of people have made the argument, they'll say, well, it's important to have your own privacy or have your own life. And again, I'm not saying that you can't have friends and things that you do apart from the other person. I do think that that's valuable, but a lot of people would say, no, you got to have like your own privacy and a separate life and these things, and you just come together to be a couple. And that I think you can operate that way. And if you do, then what those books say is true. What those books say is true. Then you have to make sure that don't become too familiar and don't get too close. Otherwise,
that's just like so weird though. But I think,
but you can
instead
operate
of
there.
it being like too familiar, I think it just becomes your new baseline without going into like, this is kind of like a whole separate thing than what we're talking about. But I think it is like just a new baseline. And like you said, you just have to you have to add more to it. You have to like make sure that it's above that. So I don't think it like goes down, but I think that like you have to think more about doing the things to show your partner that you desire them, because it's like it's become like your baseline of how you operate. Yeah. But sometimes, because men do this too with like the romance, that sometimes
it becomes a baseline.
It becomes like, you know, you're like not doing it as much or in a new way or a, you know, way that makes your partner feel that way.
Right.
And we're all changing in our relationship. So it's like you have to constantly check in with each other. Right. And, you know,
which I guess this is a good segue into like our, like, unless you have something else you have on the.
No, I mean, I think we covered it, because I feel like bachelor trips are the same as like a girl's trip or a guy's trip or things like that. Yeah. So unless you can think of anything, but I think hit
that's
the
it. Like I said, a lot of
head.
people are going to be resistant to this. I guess we could say that. And it's like, I get it, because I was there at one point, like as you were as well. But if you really think about it, what we're saying makes sense. Even though the majority of people would disagree with it, like better than